Morning, hello. The screen tells me to wave to you, so I'm just following my instructions. For those of you that are tuning in for the first time, this is the kind of 4-minute preamble, just to get us in and settled. Give you all time to burst through the doors, ready for this morning movement snack, which is essentially going to be some mobility, a bit of circ boost to get us moving. And I can see all the people arriving here, so some new names from our friends in Devon. Hello Vicky. Wales is in the house. Elaine, where are you? Where are you coming from? Where in the world? Where in the UK? I'm glancing up at my clock, counting down, I think maybe 3-minute warning. Peterhead. I'm seeing friends, new friends, professional friends, people I don't know. Don't know, didn't know, feel like I know you a little bit now. And on the subject of that, as we just count down this final 2 minutes, I feel like I want to say that these sessions, these movement snacks were originally fundamentally designed to reach people, to give information and support this movement mission. So although I have professional friends and services and colleagues tuning in, I'm going to dedicate this session and every session. If you're sat home alone, these are for you. These really are for you. So if you're home alone, this is for you. Should we say a 30-second countdown? 30-second? When I say that, I get this rush of adrenaline, so I get excited. Thank you for all. I've got 30 odd people, not odd people, 30 people currently here in the dining room, and this number's chirping up. Right, we're going to get going. We're going to get going. For those of you that tuned in when the preamble started, I started a little game of hangman. So the answer to the hangman, thank you for playing everyone, was my test daily ACCA catchphrase. Keep on moving, of course. If you like the hangman, we can make it a regular thing. Ready, steady, go. Good morning, my name is Bex Townley from Later Life Training, and welcome to day 6, Movement Snack 1. Lots of information has been imparted in these 6 days, and you can see these videos afterwards or also on YouTube. My challenge is to keep those people that have joined to stay with me, whilst the new people that are joining feel that they have a pace and a steady input of information rather than all at once. Please go back and look at the other videos that might fill in the gaps, but you'll be hearing some consistent themes running through all of these 10-minute movement snacks. We'll always start with some circulation boosting. We'll always talk about thinking about your sitting or standing position so that we can move as best we can. The morning sessions tend to be about mobility and getting us ready for the day, all with sit or stand options. Crowbarring in some strength because we want to strengthen legs and lower limbs so that we can get out of the chair to move. And our evening set is more around 3-dimensional movements, slow, calm stretches. So we're creating our own routine and rhythm throughout these movement snacks. But it's important to remember that These snacks are for you to take and use them as you want to throughout the day. So they're over and above any other movements or activities you're doing. But they may, I'm aware, be the start point for many, and that's really what we set out to do. Let's go. Pick your position. Select your position now, and don't forget you can switch between the two to sit or stand. Let me start you off with some prompts for standing position. External support as you need and as you see fit. This could be just a fingertip touch just to give you some confidence, or it could be more of a support to help with that standing position. Balanced, relaxed but active. When we talk about being active, it's lifting out of the centre here and literally holding our body in an active, ready to move position. If you're happy with that, my standing people, we can start to bring in our circulation boost. Keep going on that standing circ boost whilst I offer some prompts for our seated audience. Chairs range from seat height and depth, so pick a chair that's comfortable for you, ideally knee height. Hip walk forward just a little bit so that you feel you can just support your own posture. If at any time you start to get tired, we just hip walk back and we take what we call a pit stop. That's okay, just manage this, do what you can, move in a way that you feel you can. So our seated circulation boosting is here. It's the morning session, so I tend to do this just in my socks, aware that probably many of you are still in slippers. And as always, our focus is on this ankle movement, the foot movement, driving from the floor, and we can bring in some steady arms or just keep it legs, or you can do one arm alternating, or we can offer some support to guide the elbow back. Keep going if that's your seated option. Here's the standing option. In stand, really consider peeling the heels off, lifting and open the posture. And stand, we can start to bring some side turns also, and in the other direction and back. In standing now, let's switch to our toe taps. So we started these last week, so this is a slight angled movement, just tapping the toe down. Keep going that standing grip. And in seated, it's the same. Keep this small, focus on feet. And it's a slight different angle now, so we're just targeting different areas around the hips. All right, let's take a pause. Circulation boosting done. Circulation boosting does what it says on the tin. It boosts circulation. So steady movements just to get a bit of a boost through the circulation. Mobility. Mobility means moving. So we're going to start with our shoulder movements. In seated, hands either on the thighs here so they stay supported, or they might be more comfortable down here. In standing, it's the same. If you want to in stand, you can keep a little bit of a foot pedal going. Remember, if we're doing more than one thing at the same time, that's more for the brain to think about, might challenge your balance, so fingertips on. On this shoulder roll, up, back and round, really open, take your time. It's only the morning, it's only 8:05, so just move to a position that's comfortable for you. Take your time. 1 time, 3 times or 5 times on these. Having considered the shoulders and the upper back, let's look at head movement. So in seated, this is a slow turn, back to centre. This is mobility, so it keeps on moving. By that I mean we don't want to hold this position until we park back up the centre, literally. So I turn, keep it moving, come back, pause in the middle. Same in stand. Here's a close-up. And you'll feel that each time you turn, you may be able to go a little bit further. Stay comfortable for you. Nothing should be painful or uncomfortable. Take a pause. One more neck movement here, turning sideways. This is pressing back. It's a fairly small movement, and it just helps to mobilise the neck along with these other 2 mobility movements to really help the shoulder and the head position, all designed to help with everyday life. Just have a little bit of a foot pedal here, And also in seated, and an extra roll, have a pit stop if you need to. Side bends. Side bends in seated. Take the feet a little bit wider and you can just edge the toes and the heels back. This gives us more balance, yes? Back side stays on the chair. It's just a little side bend and come back. Little side bend. It keeps on moving. It only stops when it comes back to the centre. Support hands if you need to. In standing, it's the same. Pick up a wider base for balance. This will help balance. Using the support if you need. It's a side and a come back. Other direction. Side and come back. Yes? 1 time, 3 times or 5 times. Just feel how that is for you. Keep it moving. Bend and back. Pause in the middle. Let's go for trunk turn, trunk rotation. Backside firmly in the chair, feet flat on the floor. These are small, it's the morning, just move and turn. These movements we already do. They're already embedded in all our activities of daily living. All we're doing here is thinking about them a little bit more. In standing it's the same, keep that wide base, wider feet for balance, turning around, leave the hips behind if you can. Take your time, just feel this movement. It's yours, you can control it. See how that goes. Take a pause. Come back to steady balance. Support here if you need. Back extensions. I'm going to show you in standing option first. Hands on for support if you need. This is from your usual normal posture position and adding an extra little bit of extend and return. Extend and return. 1 time, 3 times or 5 times. In seated, let me show you. Hands stay on the thighs, or you can offer a little bit of guidance, back of the hand here. From your usual posture position, take your time and lift and extend a little bit more and return. You choose how big or small you want this movement to be. We're trying to get the posture to learn and be strong enough to be more upright. And that will be different for all of you. Ankle mobility. In seated, you've got 2 options. Here's the heel toe action here. Have a glance down if you need to. Look ahead if you can. 1, 3 or 5 times, the same on the other leg. And in standing, it's the same. Here's the standing option. Heel toe. Or, if you're happy to in stand, we can take that and translate that into just a rock step, transfer the weight, back heel comes off, but really still think about how that heel placement works. Support if you need. So we're translating that ankle movement into how we step. Take a pause. Okay, everyone in seated now, so pick your chair, feel for the chair on the backs of your legs. Remember, we want to use every opportunity to optimise these legs, so slow if you can, slow, control down. We've done some circulation boosting, we've done some mobility. I'm looking at the time, I just want to put in the chair rise and an option, and the idea is this one, we crowbar through the day as and when you can. I'm going to give you, I think I've written down 3 options, we'll see how you go. The seated option, so if standing isn't good for you, or it might be too early for you, we have the jockey lift, or the bum bump, whatever you want to call it. And this is where we drive through the heels, and as if we're going to stand, but we don't. And if you put your hands on your thighs, as you squeeze through the heels, you'll feel the muscles here in the legs start to contract. Okay, so we're just trying to switch these on, keeping the posture lifted and release. If you're happy to stand all the way up, we continue with that and we power through, come up to stand, get your balance at the top. Feel for the chair on the backs of the legs and a slow sit. We also started in the week to talk about how we progress that even more. So if we put the feet in an offset position and now power to stand, I've got a little bit more strength coming through one side, but we need to do both sides. One more option for you. If that one chair rise is the best you can do at the moment, that's great, that's fine. So take that one, I'll have that. Give yourself some support and just take 1, 3 or 5 knee bends. Now these can be done throughout the day. If you find yourself in an upright position where you have some really strong solid support, just take a moment, have a think. Let's just bend the knee as if you're going to sit. Remember, eyes in the back of your backside, but then stand up fully. Just a couple of those. Just start to feel how our knees and our hips and our thighs all work together. Crikey, I think that's it. We covered quite a lot in 10 minutes, I think. That is the end of the morning movement snack. Dedicated to everyone who's home alone. It's really, if I could reach in there, we could all reach in there and be there with you, we really would. So I hope these offer some distraction, if nothing else. If you are home alone and you can work out the comments here, just give us a thumbs up, because this is all for you, really. See you at 12 o'clock for the second movement snack. Thank you very much. Keep on moving. Every movement counts. Goodbye.